In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the crankshaft position sensor on this Mazda 6. It's located on the back side of the engine. We'll access it from the wheel well, so let's get started. Now through the wheel well, the passenger side, you'll see this cover here. I prefer to take this off. If you just turn the wheel, you'll have plenty of access to it, and this is so that I can get a lot more space to work underneath. You can access the tensioner a lot better. The push clips here that hold this on can be easily removed with a trim tool. A couple of them are hidden under the fender liner, but you can still get to them. They're right here. There's another one that's kind of tucked behind up there. You can pull the fender liner off of this push clip if you want. That'll give you a little bit more access to that. There we go. And then the last one is going to be on the further side towards the back. Now you can pull this cover off. Now with that shield off, you'll be able to see the crankshaft position sensor right here. We're going to have to press on the white tab of this electrical connector in order to disconnect it. As you press on it, pull it out, and once it's off of here, flip it up and over to get it out of your way. The sensor is held on with an 8mm bolt, so let's remove that. You should have just enough space to stick a ratchet in here. You can also get it with a wrench if needed. Once it's broken free, you should be able to unthread it by hand. Okay, there's the bolt, set it aside. At this point, the sensor is most likely stuck in here from the O-ring that seals it up. A lot of times those O-rings get stuck over time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a screwdriver, very gently pry at the top and at the bottom, kind of go back and forth. And that, as well as giving it a couple twists, should help me break this free from the engine. Obviously, you don't want to break it in the engine. You want to be very careful. Looks like it's working. It's coming out, and there it is. Sometimes it takes a little bit more than this, but there's the crankshaft position sensor. Now inspect the mounting area to make sure it's clean, free of any debris. A little bit of oil may run down there. Just keep that in mind. So if it does, clean it up with a rag. Now take your new crankshaft position sensor. You can put a little bit of engine oil on that O-ring to help it slide in position better. And at this point, you want it seated all the way, or almost all the way, before you put that bolt in. You don't want to pull it in with the bolt because it'll go at an angle like this and it can break it. So grab onto it, wiggle it, and push it in until you can get it to seat in there. You may or may not have to kind of pry it in with something if this doesn't work. Be very, very gentle if you have to press it on with anything. This is also why it's important to lubricate that O-ring. It'll make things a lot easier. There we go. That just popped in. Make sure the bolt hole is lined up. There we go. Start that bolt in. Thread it on by hand. Once it's pretty much bottomed out, I'll snug it with my ratchet. There we go, that's bottomed out. Now let's torque this to 80 inch-pounds. If you don't have the ability to torque this, just make it nice and snug by hand, at most 1/8 of a turn after it bottoms out. This is a very small bolt and you don't want to break it. That's it right there. Now, get your tool out of here and connect the electrical connector. Once you slide it over, you want to make sure that it clicks. If it doesn't click, that means it's not completely locked in. There we go, that clicked. So let's get this shield back on. Make sure it goes underneath the fender liner, and I have one push clip ready to go so that as soon as it lines up, I can at least attach it in one spot and then let go. And this is going to be the easiest one to reach up here, so I'm just going to slide this push clip in and lock it down. If any of yours break, replace them, otherwise this is going to keep flopping around as you drive, and that would not be great. It can also be unsafe if it gets caught in the wheel or anything like that. Up here, get this one reattached. There we go. Now we can put this one back. This is for the fender liner. All of these push clips were the same, by the way, so no need to keep them exactly where they came from. Now let's move down to the bottom, and we'll attach the two bottom ones. There was one over here, and one behind the fender liner right over here. There we have it.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.